Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
A popular WWE superstar is pushing for Adam Pearce to resign from his role as the Raw general manager. The Scrap Iron has been an on-screen authority figure in the Stamford-based promotion since 2020. The aforementioned star is former WWE Women's Champion Becky Lynch, who has been accusing the Raw GM and referee Jessica Carr of conspiring against her. The man has been threatening to take legal action against them. Earlier today, Pearce posted a picture of himself trying to deal with Becky Lynch from an old episode of SmackDown Live. The man reshared the post on Instagram stories and claimed that the 47-year-old had persistently held a grudge against her since the very beginning. The Raw star noted that her lawyer could use it as evidence against the GM before urging him to resign. Popular WWE Raw star calls Adam Pearce the worst general manager. Like Becky Lynch, The New Day and Grayson Waller have also had their differences with the Raw general manager. The Aussie icon spoke about Pearce during his appearance on Insight with Chris Van Vliet. Staying in character, Waller accused Pearce of being the worst general manager ever. He added that even the anonymous general manager of 2010-11 was better than the current Raw GM. The former WWE Tag Team Champion stated that he would love to fight Pearce. "I think he's one of the worst GMs we've ever had. I think we need to bring back the laptop. That laptop was way better than Adam Pearce. The anonymous Raw GM would have taken care of me and the New Day. Adam Pearce, he's not taking care of us. Pearce always has to be out there for it, doesn't he? Oh man, I'd love to fight Adam Pearce. Woods and Kofi, they get first shot, so I get third shot," Waller said. Pearce competed in a wrestling match more than 4 years ago. It will be interesting to see if he steps inside the squared circle in the future. The tension in WWE has been rising for months, but no one expected it to reach a boiling point this quickly, or this explosively. Tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw turned into a full-blown political earthquake behind the scenes, as one major WWE star stepped up and openly pushed for Adam Pearce to resign from his position as Raw general manager. What followed was a mixture of chaos, confrontation, and one of the most dramatic internal standoffs WWE has seen in years. For fans watching from home, the shift was almost invisible. Quick glances from the commentary team, a few hurried whispers from backstage personnel on camera, and a clear sense something was very wrong. But backstage? Backstage was a battlefield. And it all started with one superstar deciding enough was enough. The star WHO finally snapped. While names were initially kept hidden, multiple insiders reported that the superstar who led the charge is a top-tier main eventer, someone known for speaking their mind and refusing to play politics. They reportedly confronted Pearce in a tense meeting, raising their voice in frustration over several controversial decisions made in recent weeks. At the center of the conflict is Pearce's ongoing struggle to maintain order on Raw, a brand filled with dominant factions, unpredictable brawls, and a locker room growing angrier by the week. But according to the superstar at the heart of tonight's chaos, Pearce has allowed the situation to spiral out of control. In a moment that shocked everyone who witnessed it, the superstar, described as red-hot and completely done with Pearce's excuses, told him outright that he should step down. Some say Pearce looked blindsided. Others say he expected this moment. But what's crystal clear is that the room changed the second those words were spoken. The locker room divides. Once the confrontation happened, the news spread like wildfire. Superstars aligned with the outspoken main eventer rallied to their side. Many of them have privately voiced frustration with Pearce's leadership for months, citing inconsistent rulings, confusing match changes, and a lack of control over rising locker room chaos, especially after recent interference-heavy storylines that left several competitors feeling overlooked or disrespected. Meanwhile, a smaller but vocal group defended Pearce. To them, he's the only thing preventing the brand from falling apart completely. Without him, they argued, Raw would dissolve into faction wars and personal vendettas. They believe Pearce has done the best job he can with the unpredictable talent he's been given, and removing him would only make things worse. What started as one superstar's outburst soon turned into a full-scale internal debate. And WWE officials were forced to step in quickly before things escalated further. The incident that pushed everything over the edge. People close to the situation say the star's breaking point came after a controversial main event ruling last week. Pearce reportedly made a last-minute decision that cost a major superstar a shot at championship gold. While Pearce maintained the decision was made to keep order, the WWE star involved saw it as favoritism, incompetence, or both. They felt humiliated, not just by losing, but by what they called Pearce's constant mishandling of the Raw roster. According to reports, the superstar told Pearce flat out, "You've lost the locker room. You don't control anything anymore. Step down before Raw collapses entirely." Those who witnessed it say the room fell silent. Pearce walked out immediately afterward, visibly shaken. Pearce responds, "I'm not going anywhere." It didn't take long for Pearce to address the situation. Later in the night, he called an emergency meeting with WWE officials, producers, and several top talents. In a surprisingly fiery tone, Pearce made it clear he's not backing down. He insisted that he's committed to stabilizing Raw and won't be forced out by a superstar's emotional outburst. He reportedly said, "I've survived years of criticism, chaos, and pressure. I survived authority figures trying to shut me down. I'm not resigning because someone had a bad night." Those in the room described Pearce as determined, angry, and unwilling to let a faction of the roster dictate the direction of the show. But if Pearce thought the confrontation was over, he was wrong. The superstar fires back, and brings receipts. Hours after Pearce's statement, the superstar at the center of the controversy doubled down. They approached WWE executives with what sources describe as receipts, examples of Pearce's alleged mismanagement, complete with dates, match outcomes, altered scripts, and decisions they believe destroyed the integrity of Raw. At this point, the conflict moved beyond personal frustrations and became a full-scale evaluation of Pearce's leadership. Those close to the situation say WWE executives were stunned by how organized and passionate the superstar's argument was. They expected emotion; instead, they got a carefully constructed case. WWE officials now caught in the middle. With Pearce refusing to quit, and one of WWE's biggest stars pushing for his removal, higher-ups are now forced to consider their next step. Some argue it's time for a new on-screen authority figure, someone with stronger presence, more control, and the respect of the roster. Others believe removing Pearce now would only reward the superstar's rebellion and set a dangerous precedent. The decision is currently hanging in the balance. What this means for Raw's future. If Pearce is replaced, Raw could see a major power shift, potentially the biggest since Triple H took over WWE Creative. A new authority figure could introduce stricter rules, shake up the championship scene, or even dismantle problematic factions. But if Pearce stays? Expect backlash. Expect more confrontations. Expect open rebellion. And WWE may be heading toward a storyline, or real-life, civil war. Is this the start of a massive new WWE storyline? Fans have already begun speculating that this conflict might evolve into an on-screen storyline. WWE has a history of turning real tension into compelling TV, and with emotions running this high, the timing would be perfect. Imagine superstars choosing sides. The locker room divided between Pearce loyalists and rebels. A special episode where Pearce must fight to keep his job. A new GM debuting in dramatic fashion. Raw may be on the brink of its most intense authority storyline in years. Final word. What began as one superstar demanding accountability has now erupted into a full backstage war. Adam Pearce isn't resigning. The superstar isn't backing down. The locker room is divided. And Raw's future hangs in the balance.